Hi, my name is Hugh, and I'm applying for the Rush Master position for customer service hero. I'm 25 years old. I live in Marrickville. I grew up in Marrickville. I went to high school here at Casimir Catholic College. I recently just graduated from UTS in a Bachelor of Communications, majoring in public communication, which is advertising and public relations. For the last year, I've just been working as a courier for FedEx in the city. And I have just been trying to work out what I want to do with my life. Originally, I wanted to enter the media industry and work for a record label or maybe basketball talent and represent musicians or basketball players in their careers, manage them with their touring, media training. But right now, I just want to get some work experience in a really good company, develop my skills, and turn my theory into practice, and just figure out what I want to do with my career and see where life takes me. I think Rushpass is a great little online business. I've probably been following you guys for about a year or two. I bought this great backpack off you guys maybe a year ago. I always read your newsletters, and I think you guys have very innovative and simplistic products for everyday people to help speed up their life, organize their life. And I just think that Rush Fast will be a really cool company to work for with some really well known brands and gain some insight onto how a little online business like this runs and try and make some friends along the way. My main focus for my next job was to find something with a really fun work culture and a team environment. Working for Felix as a courier got a bit lonely as I was always kind of by myself driving around, which was good. It had its pros and cons, but right now I'm really looking forward to making some friends in the work industry, working in a team, learning how to work in a team, liaising with customers and clients, and just developing my own work ethic and communication skills in a fun and challenging role that will really help me to develop as a person and in my career. So my last job, FedEx, was a very good company to work for. Um, they looked after their employees, everything was paid for, and they were very flexible with me during university with my classes, and I was able to, both juggle work life and class time. But the job, although it sounds like it's a very cruisy job, it could be quite stressful, and we had to work under a certain time frame. It was very time and task oriented. A lot of the times we would be given 30, 40, 50, even 60 deliveries to do in a day. It had to be done by certain times for these deliveries to get on flights to go to Europe, to go to Asia, to go to America, because it's an international priority kind of process. I had to work very autonomously, although I had the freedom to do and work how I wanted and the way I wanted to structure. I developed a lot of organization skills, create a route for the day so I wouldn't be going backwards and forwards and do it full circle back to base. Had to provide a high level customer service, sometimes under very stressful situations, and think about the best way to, deliver these packages, maybe up 50 stories, in a lift, trolley, stairs, contacting with clients, finding out the best way to meet them with my dispatch and organization. So I learned a lot of skills, and I really enjoyed that job. But right now I'm looking for something a bit less manual labor and a bit more mind orientated. What makes me stand out from the crowd? Well, I'm quite a cultured person. Growing up in Sydney, I'm very lucky to live in a very multicultural, cosmopolitan society. Even going to school in Marrickville, I was pretty much the only Australian kid in my whole entire year. My four best friends are Indian, Portuguese, Greek, and Italian. And I just have a lot of passion and a lot of interests. I love electronic music. Most of the times on the weekends, I will try and hit the golden triangle of seeing some art, some music, and some film. Especially with the lockout laws, I'm always trying to find something good, a good party, and it usually ends up being around Marrickville, Sydenham, some kind of party outside of the lockout laws. I'm a very sporty guy. I love basketball. I'm a basketball referee and I coach as well. And I play a few nights a week competitively and socially. I'm a very well traveled guy. Right now, I just really want to work full time for about a year or two and save up and then go overseas and travel and live somewhere. That would be a great dream of mine. Which leads me to the next question: what do I want to achieve out of my life? Right now, I would just love to be able to work and travel, be able to travel the world and work, make money without having to come back home, do the whole thing of saving money, then go overseas, and saving money, and go overseas. Whether it's through, blogging, I've also dabbled in modeling, maybe doing photography. I would love to just do something creative. But ultimately, I would love to own a record label and, represent emerging artists internationally, manage them, and be able to tour with them around the world and make a life from that, which would be amazing. I would have to say my proudest moment is graduating from UTS last year. It was a long road for me, and I'm the only person in my family to graduate from university. From coming from not being interested in studying at all and pretty much flunking my HSC, to going traveling, to coming back and figuring out what I wanted to study and entering into TAFE, smashing TAFE and then getting into university and doing 5 years of tertiary study and getting a distinction level was a very proud moment for myself. And my least proudest moment is probably it was just a personal regret of mine. I had an experience where I was overseas in Nepal and I was planning to go trekking, and my father had travelled over from Australia to surprise me and do this trek with me in Nepal through the Himalayas. And the day that he arrived, he asked if I wanted to go and get coffee with him, and I had recently just met some Canadian girls who asked me to come out for some drinks with them. And I ended up going for drinks instead of going having coffee with my own father, who had just travelled all the way from Australia to come and trek with me. It's just a memory that I regret and that I wish I could have done over, because I would much rather have the memory of having coffee with my father in Nepal than going and meet some random Canadian girls who I never spoke to again. So that's probably my least proudest moment, or one of them anyway. I try to practice gratitude every day when I'm feeling down or anxious or something like that. I try to think of like 2 things that I'm very grateful for in my life. And the things that come to mind are my family. I'm very lucky to have such a supportive and just healthy family. My mum and my dad and my little brother, who's a very successful soccer player at a young age. My mum is a nurse, or actually she's a midwife, who's written a book and has her own business. And my father runs his own labouring building company, and he supported me when I was coming out of high school, gave me a job, taught me a lot of skills. And they're both very successful, happy, hardworking, blue-collar people who have taught me and made me the person I am. So I'm very thankful for them. And I really just compare this to other families who are quite broken, especially around these times of the years, Christmas, New Year's, where it's really important to have such a together family, and I'm very grateful for that. And I guess I'm very grateful for my health, mentally and physically. I'm being quite blessed to have a healthy body and a healthy mind. And if you have those 2 things, family and health, lucky person in this world, and they're probably definitely two those things I'm grateful for. The last question, but not least, who would I take for dinner for one night and why? I would have to say Steve Jobs. He was a creative genius, a very interesting guy who made very unique products and came from being adopted and bullied as a kid. He was a college dropout. He did what he wanted to do, his life. He was a Zen Buddhist. He went to India, found enlightenment. He was a risk taker, experimented with psychedelic drugs. He was a Presbyterian. He would go on like extreme fruition diets, and he's just an amazing individual to me. And was one of the youngest people to ever reach Forbes, richest people in the world. But that's not even like the big thing. Like he changed the world and how we see it, how we use technology, how design and even type. Like he made typography on technology such a massive thing. And I've always looked up to him and always admired him and was devastated when he passed. He changed the world, and I will always appreciate a person like that and look up to that and aspire to something like that. Thank you so much for this opportunity and letting me make this video. It was actually a lot of fun and I learned a lot along the way. I hope you guys learn a bit about me, and I hope I get to meet you guys in person. I would love to come and work for Rush Faster, and I would give you 110% every day. And it's just a job that I know I would love to wake up to every day and come to work. And it's exactly what I want right now. Thank you so much. Cheers.